You are listening to Larry Conners, USA.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
This is Larry Conners USA. Larry Conners USA.
The President of the United States lied to the American people about the advice that you gave to him, about the military judgment that you provided for him. I think you've all testified to that effect now repeatedly. Secondly, the State Department and maybe the White House appeared to have pushed back the evacuation to such a time that it became a catastrophe, apparently against your advice, although I'd like to learn more about that. And third, for some reason that we still don't quite understand, the Pentagon failed to plan for the potential collapse of the security forces or the collapse of the Afghan government, despite there being quite a lot of warning. Senator Kaine referred to this earlier, quite a lot of warning for really, frankly, years that the Afghan security forces were ill-equipped, ill-trained, and frankly not up to the job. I don't understand any of that.
Don't understand any of that. That is Senator Josh Hawley and some of his comments to Generals Milley and Austin and McKenzie yesterday. And now those same generals are in front of a House committee. They are now testifying as they go into, again, similar questions. But here's where they're already decided to start drawing the line. I don't know if they just suddenly decided overnight, hey, this will be our next game plan, or they felt that today was the best time to unveil it and they had to plan all the way. They are now, in fact, when Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was pressed on why the evacuations did not begin sooner, he said it was a State Department call. The State Department. It's not our job. Wash our hands, walk away, Pontius Pilate. We had nothing to do with that, about the evacuations. Did you not have confirmation or any conferences with the State Department at all? Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah, apparently they are. So they're dropping it all at this time on the State Department and Secretary of State Blinken and the rest of them. These guys are like that dog chasing the tail, going around and around and around, and they're not going to be held accountable. They're going to do everything they can to get out from under it. And then, of course, we have this issue still going on with all of our Afghans we're bringing into the country. Are they being properly vetted? Do we know that we're not bringing in Taliban members, Al-Qaeda members, ISIS members? Larry, I've got an answer for you. The short answer is no, we don't know. We just are supposed to assume that this time everybody knows what they're doing. Not so. Now the word also coming down, we're seeing in New York State hospital workers being fired, sent away from their jobs because they refuse to take the vaccinations. Hospital workers. The New York governor says, oh, don't worry, we have a shortage. I can import them from the Philippines, basically. And now, Border Patrol agents who have not taken the vaccine and don't want it because either they've already had COVID and should have natural immunity from that, or for whatever reasons, they're being told, if you won't take it, you cannot serve as a Border Patrol agent. They are in the midst of all of these illegals coming across. It's a pretty big decision for them if they take it or don't take it, but the complete hypocrisy of the government demanding the Border Patrol agents have to have it while we allow thousands of illegals into the country that are not tested and have not been vaccinated, and we're setting them loose in the nation. And also there's talk of a vax for younger kids already approved, apparently, in some cases, or getting closer, and they've already approved it for pregnant women. In other words, an unborn child could have one of the vaccines. And yet they're still trying to decide at what age can we give them if they're 12 or 5. We have a Marine Lieutenant Colonel in the brig because he did call for accountability while General Milley is talking to book authors about what's happening in Afghanistan and what did happen. And there are plans underway to change the U.S. flag, the New York Times giving it a lot of big publicity. No surprise there. And also, before we wrap up today, you know you can't have a prayer in school. Unless you're in California. Then you can have prayers to an Aztec god. In fact, students are encouraged to say some of the incantations for an Aztec god who sacrificed human beings. A lot to cover. Lock and load. Ready on the right.
You can email Larry at LarryConnersUSA@gmail.com. LarryConnersUSA@gmail.com.